Hello, Jonathan Chandler coming to you from the Virginia School of Traditional Arts. We have a new anvil that we're going to install today. This anvil was bought off of eBay. It's 471 pounds, and we're going to install it on this oak log, and we're going to put the log into the ground and level it, and then we're going to mount the anvil to it, and we'll show you how good an anvil we bought, and we're going to do a little bit of restoration on it, but not much. It's pretty good as it is. We could definitely work on it just like it is. We'll flatten it a little bit probably, but we're going to take you on that journey today. First step I did is I got me a board that's about the same length at the top of my new anvil, and as you can see, this is our original anvil. It is almost twice as wide, and that's going to be good for us when we go to forging and using the anvil. But it's bad if the anvil's not in use, because it's so long here. It's going to take up some of our floor space. We don't have a huge shop. So just as you can see over there is my table with my vise. My forge is right here. The power hammer is right there, just out of the frame. And I have another vise over here, post vise over here, where my tongs are and my welding table. So I'm thinking, I played with this a little bit last night. What I did, this anvil will move, and we just move it in and out the way if we need it. But I think I'm going to put this large anvil down permanently. This one's going to be my travel anvil. We'll take this one to the fairs and different things. But the one that we just bought, the big one, we're going to put down here permanently. And so to do that, we're going to actually remove some of the flooring here and dig a hole down. Not going to cut the log off, which we could do too. We could just cut it off to the right length and set it down, and it would be movable like this one. Less so in that it weighs nearly 500 pounds, but I would like an anvil permanently fixed in a position so that I can twist on it and put forks in it and really crank down and be able to form what I want to form and it not spin on me. This one spins, it jumps around. If you ever watch my other videos, you're losing efficiency if your anvil's moving. So we're going to put this one in the ground, some, not a whole lot, but some, about 10, 12 inches in the ground, and put our floor back. And that's why I chose this floor when I built this shop. It's brick pavers, basically, bought from Home Depot, Lowe's kind of places. But they're not in cement, they're in sand. So I can pop them up at any point, dig a hole down, do whatever I need to do, run a wire, anything I need to. I can put underneath this floor and no issue to put it right back. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to get this situated just like I want it. My major concern is my power hammer and being able to operate that both-footed and not feel like I'm going to stab myself in the back, because right here is going to be a point. The new anvil has a point on both ends. And so we've got to be conscious of that. I have a pile of mess over here which I can't move. And I've marked out the bricks I need to pull up. I'll move my anvil, I'm going to pull those up, we're going to dig a hole down. The hole will be basically lined up on this block here where this line is, and be as wide as these. I think that's going to get me pretty close to what I need. Pull them out. As well as it provides me a little uneven surface on my feet. It's fireproof floors. I worked on concrete for 20 years, over 20 years. Just about killed my feet. Alright, we've got our hole dug. I've laid this little strip of wood. It's pretty straight. And I cleaned off the concrete blocks, the brick pavers. I'm going to show y'all. We have got this approximately 11 inches here, 11 inches there, and just a little more than 11 on that side. And so next what we're going to do I've done the math. I'll go over how I did the math in just a minute. But we want it to be between 9 and 10 inches. So we're going to add some concrete to the bottom. This will give us a base. We're not going to put any water with it immediately, and that'll let us level our stump as well. I was going to use sand, but I thought better about the sand because the more we hit on it, the sand's going to keep moving, I'm afraid. The concrete will eventually get hard and won't move anymore. This is just ready mixed concrete. Buy this at any home improvement store. Try not to use your knife on it. It don't do your knife any good. And what I have done is I've made this stick that just happens to be the same size as the bottom of my stump. And we're going to use it to level this out. Alright. Now, get this big mama jama over in here without going over the hole. Will be the next task. Might have to pull this dude out and see what we can do about that. I'm hating that. See parts over here. The knee pad was under it. For that reason. Alright, pretty good. Back to low on that side. Jeez. Be cute. I don't think I'm going to use all this bag, but we're going to try to not put it where our bricks, like here and there, just down in the hole. We'll leave it about an inch from the top. And then that way, we can put sand back and put our bricks back. We've got our post in, and this is an oak post, and the longest way is directly this way, so that's the way I'm going to point the anvil. That's the way we decided to do that. So I think that's a good position, and we'll just make sure it's level and still, and we'll be on our way. Dead level. Dead level. Dead level. Alright, good to go. We'll let that set up a little bit. Alright, it's the day. We got our stump in. I went ahead and replaced the bricks. I had to cut them a little bit, put them back in with the sand. Plenty of videos about how to do that if you're not sure on that. I used a skill saw with a masonry blade on it. And I've got my my anvil on our engine hoist. So I've got it down low. I didn't want it up high. It's kind of like driving a big piece of machinery like a bulldozer or a backhoe or whatever. You don't want your weight up high. You don't want to drive around with your bucket in the air. So if you're going to do it this way, lower it back down so it's low to the ground so it don't tip over on you so easy. So we're going to push it on up here. Now, I came across the concrete floor no problem, but this brick floor has bumps in it, so I may have to work it across so you can see how I do that. Alright, back to this spot. I'll actually have her turned that way. What I'm going to do is try to make it sit the way I want it to turn anyway. Back it up a smidge. I think it's about like that. Alright, after much piddling with this thing and spinning it around and round and round and seeing which way I like it, which way I'm used to working, I think I've settled on this direction right here. This allows me good work flow both ways. I've got a big table right there that I use for my layout. I've got our power hammer behind me here. I've got a table with a vise right there. I think this is going to do for the time being. A lot of people will tell me that I'm putting this in backwards, that this upsetting block here should be on the opposite side of where you're going to stand, and I agree with them most of the time. However, my old anvil and what I've been used to using always had the horn. I always turned it so the horn was on the right. The round horn was on the right, so that's what I'm used to, so that's what I'm going to continue doing. But when I do that, my upsetting block is here on this side. I'm going to put it this way and see if that has anything to do with anything. You may run into a couple of situations where that may be in the way, but we've got so much room to work here, I don't think that'll be an issue. And if it is, I'll get on the other side with it. Construction adhesive here. We're just going to lay us down a big glop here. Following around our lines. Trying to follow around our lines. That's what I didn't want to do. Slide this over down. Cleaned it up. I just took paper towel and wiped off most of the glue, and then I came back. I'd got a little glue on the metal, and I didn't want it on the metal on the sides, and I'll come back with some brake cleaner and put on there, and got that little bit messy looking part up. Looks good all the way around. We're gonna let her sit there and dry tonight. Here's the plan. I'll get to the chain in a minute. We have some little blocks of steel. These are 3/4 by 3/4. No, I think they're 7/8 by 7/8. And what I have done is I've just drilled a couple holes in them, and I have shaped the end of it so it fits up into the I gotta get the right one. Fits up into the anvil here, so it'll fit tight up in this corner and tight against that edge and not poke out here, so it's not like protruding. I rounded that one a little bit, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to drill holes down. And this drill bit is smaller than my lag screw and quite a bit shorter than the lag screw, so this is just going to give me a start, and then the lag screws will have to bite in and really go down. We're basically drilling into end grain here, which is not ideal. We put our little blocks of steel here, two on this side and one on this back side. That will keep it from spinning. We're going to fix some tooling for our hardy hole here, and we'd like to be able to bend things and twist things with that tooling, and we don't want our anvil spinning around, and so these blocks here will prevent that. And now we're just going to take some chain, and we've glued this anvil down, as you've seen us in the video, but we're going to put the chain on here so that it doesn't fall on anybody. And I just want the chain to look even. There we go. Yeah, we cooked them with grease. I'm probably going to leave it there for the time being. I'll get this other one started and put some tension on it, and the last little bit we'll use to tighten that up. Alright, hope y'all have enjoyed this. You can take a good look at what we've done here. We have steel blocks that we have lag screwed to the stump. One here, and one on this back side. And then we have chains that we have put across the foot of our anvil here, and drilled our lag screws in at an angle so the farther down it came, the tighter it was. And we made sure that the front side, this is the side I'm going to use, I'll call this the front side, is flush as we can. The back sides stick out just a little bit because I'm afraid of breaking these lag screws off, which I have done twice today on these little blocks. I had longer ones. I ended up using 4-inch ones. Started out with probably 5.5 or 6-inch ones, but my drill bit wasn't long enough to go all the way down and make it a good pilot hole. And this oak was not forgiving. It was not going to let it just push a hole through it. It broke them off. anyhow, we got it on here good and tight. This chain, as you can tell, is not shaking at all. We glued it down with some construction adhesive. Initially, you could use silicone caulk or anything that would stick, really. That's what I had, so that's what I used. And we put in our oak. This is a oak stump, and we dug down about 12 inches or so. We put in concrete around it, leveled it up good, and then we put our anvil on top. Now I will tell you a secret. Our anvil, our stump is dead level as it can get. Our anvil, now that we've put it on top, is not quite level. So if I was going to do this again, I guess I would have to set the anvil on top of the stump, now which would be problematic with this size anvil, but if you had one you could pick up and down, I would say put your anvil on your stump and level the top of your anvil. This one's not quite level. It's leaning that way slightly and leaning this way slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make me redo it. So you know, maybe from point to point, maybe 1/8 of an inch difference as far as not being perfectly level, but that's neither here nor there. I am going to do another video showing you how I'm going to restore this anvil. I bought a pretty good anvil, so I'm not going to have to do a whole lot to it, but it does have a few issues. We're going to clean up the surface here. We're going to look at the edges, make sure that if we can clean those up, making them as the radiuses that we would like. We're going to fix our hardy hole here so that it will take our old hardies as well as we'll make some new hardies for just this hole. But I'm going to make a little gizmo that will fit in here, and it will shrink this hole up to fit my old hardies out of my old anvil. And we'll do a couple videos about that, but can't wait to use this thing. It is rock solid. You're not going to pull this out of the ground. You're not going to move it around. I can't wait to use it, to start forging on it, to see how it really works. We're going to give you some videos of the new artwork we're going to make. Alright, until next time, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll check you on the next one. Thank you.